Okay, for this project, I'm just using a regular Red Heart Super Saver, which is a worsted weight 4-ply acrylic yarn. And I'm using the colors is pumpkin and warm brown for the crust, and then some regular white. But of course, you can use any colors that you want. And I'm going to be using a size F, which is a 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. And you're also going to need a piece of cardboard that we can cut out into a circle. And then you're going to need like some kind of fiber fill or something to fill it with. Fuzz or whatever you got. Okay, we're going to start with making like the top. And we're just going to make it with a basic circle. So we're going to start with a slip knot. And go ahead and chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. And if you want to use the magic circle here, that's fine too. Like that. Now we're going to chain 1. Now I'm going to work 12 double crochets through the center of the ring. So yarn over and go right through the center of the ring. Come back through and double crochet. So that's 1. I want to do it 12 times. 2. 3. 4. Okay, once you made it back around and you did your 12 double crochets through the center, you can pull your tail and it'll usually close that circle up for you. And now we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch into the first double crochet. Like that. Now what we're going to do is chain 1. Now we're going to go back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into and do 2 double crochets. So right into that same stitch. So there's 1 and there's 2. And we're going to work 2 double crochets in every single stitch all the way around the entire circle until you get back to the beginning. 2 in each stitch. And when you get back around to the beginning, you should have a total of 24 double crochets. Okay, once you make it back around and you count it and you have a total of 24 stitches, again we're going to end the round by slip stitching into the first double crochet like that. And we're going to start again by chaining 1. Now this time we're going to go right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into and do 1 double crochet. Now the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. And then we'll go to the next stitch and we're just going to put 1 double crochet. And then the next stitch we'll put 2. Like that. The next stitch we'll put 1. And then the next stitch we'll get 2. So that's the repeat pattern. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets. All the way around until you get back to the beginning. And once you get back around, you should have a total of 36 double crochets. Okay, once you made it back around, again, you should have, and you counted and you have 36 stitches. Go ahead and slip stitch into your first double crochet. And that will end round 3. Again, now we're going to chain 1. And we're going to go back into the same stitch and double crochet. And then we're going to 1 double crochet into the next stitch. and then the next stitch we'll get 2 double crochets. And then it'll be 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 double in the next, 1 double in the next, and then 2 doubles in the next stitch. Again, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 double, 1 double, and the next stitch we'll get 2 double crochets. And that is the pattern all the way around. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in a row. 1 double, 2, all the way around. And when you get back to the beginning, you should have a total of 48 stitches. And that's kind of how it's going to go. I'll show you here on my big piece. And then on row 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll be 3 double crochets in a row, and then 2 double crochets in the same stitch. 3 double crochets in a row, and then 2 double crochets in the same stitch. Round 5, you should have a total of 60 stitches. Round 6, it'll be 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 double crochets in the same stitch. 4 double crochets in a row, and 2 double crochets in the same stitch all the way around, and you'll have a total of 72 stitches at the end of round 5. I'm sorry, at the end of round 6 you'll have 72 stitches. And then the last round, it'll be 5 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 double crochets in the same stitch. 5 double crochets in a row, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And at the end of round 7, you should have a total of 84 stitches. And then you can tie off the top. This is like the pumpkin, the orange color. You can tie it off. But if you want to make the pie bigger than this, you can just keep continuing around in that same fashion for as big as you want the pie to be. And then what we want to do is another one, the exact same, only like your crust color. So you do it the exact same size. But we don't want to tie that one off. So now I'm going to, since I didn't tie off, I'm going to continue with this one. And now I'm going to build up the side of the pie. So I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to go back into that same stitch and put 1 double crochet. Like that. And now I'm going to work my way around putting 1 double crochet in every single stitch. And I'm actually going to do this for a few rows of 1 double crochet in every stitch, and then that's going to start to make it turn up, so it'll form kind of the sides. So I'm going to go all the way around putting 1 double crochet in every stitch, and I'm going to do that for 2 or 3 rows. I'm not quite sure, but I'll let you know how many rows I do for the sides in just 1 second. Remember, 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Okay, I went ahead and did 2 rows of just 1 double crochet in every stitch, but if you want it to be thicker, by all means you can do more rows if you want. But I just went ahead and slip stitched there into my first double crochet, and then I'm going to tie off and hide these tails. Okay, now we need to get our piece of cardboard and cut it the same size as our circles here, or about the same size. That way, now we can put it in the bottom of our bottom crust, and that'll make it stiffer on the bottom there. Get it worked in there. There, that'll make it have a flat bottom and look more kind of like a pie. Okay, now you can set this to the side for now. And we'll come back to working on the top part. So we're going to be working like some bobble stitches around it to kind of make it look like pie crust. So you want to work the wrong side facing you. And you can start in any stitch that you want, as long as just make sure the wrong side is facing you. So you can pick any stitch that you want to start in. And start by chaining 1. Okay, we're gonna do a double crochet 3 together bobble. So what we're gonna do is yarn over, go into that same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops on my hook. I'm gonna yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. I'm going to do it one more time. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops. And then you'll have a total of 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 4. Then I'm going to pull it tight, and I'm going to come directly over to the next stitch and put 2 single crochets in that next stitch, like that. Now I'm going to jump to the next one, and I'm going to do my double crochet 3 together bobble. So I'm going to yarn over, go in, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops. I'm going to do that a total of 3 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 loops, yarn over, and go through all the loops. Go directly to the next stitch and put 2 single crochets in it. Okay, now I'm going to do my double crochet 3 together bobble into the next stitch, yarn over, go in, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through the first 2. Do that 3 times. So that was 1, 2, 3. Yarn over and go through all 4 loops, pull it tight, go directly to the next and do 2 single crochets. Oops. One and 2. Okay, go to the next stitch and do the bobble. And then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. If you look, that's what it kind of looks like on the other side. The reason we put 2 single crochets in each stitch is to kind of keep it from buckling under. This should keep it more laying flat. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this pattern again. I'm going to work my bobble in the next stitch. And then 2 single crochets in the next. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around until I get back to the beginning. Okay, once you made it all the way around, you should have be able to end in 2 single crochets in that last stitch. And then we'll just go ahead and jump over here to this bobble stitch and kind of slip stitch into the top of it somewhere here, like that. And then we'll tie that off. And we have to hide that tail, and you can see that this is what we got so far, the crust made. Now we got to make some whipped cream to put on top, which so it's really easy to make. It's just like a spiral. Well, that's how I'm doing it anyway. So, and then we'll sew it on. I already got mine made, so I'll just show you real quick because it's real easy to make. You want to start with a chain. Leave a longer tail too to tie, so to sew it on with later. But you want to start with a chain of 30 I'm going to go ahead and just start with the smaller chain though, since I already have mine done. But once you get your chain of 30 done, you want to go ahead and slip stitch, or I'm sorry, double crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook. We're going to actually put 3 double crochets in the same stitch. So 3 double crochets in the 4th stitch from the hook. Like that. And then all it is 3 double crochets in every single stitch for the length of the chain. So 3 in the next stitch, and then 3 doubles in the next. And the more down your chain you get, you'll notice it'll start to curl up. And then 3 into the next. So just do that, 3 double crochets in every stitch until you get to the end of your chain. And it doesn't have to be a start chain of 30. That's just what I did. I mean, if it's a little shorter or a little longer, that's fine. It's just going to make it bigger or smaller. But once you get to the end, remember, I'm just doing a smaller one. But once you get to the end, all you do then is chain 3 and turn. And then it's just 1 double crochet in every stitch again. So you start with, not this very first one, but this next one. And then we just work our way back down the curl, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch. And that's just going to make it a little thicker. It's still going to be curly, but it's just going to make it thicker. So it's real easy. 3 double crochets in every stitch for the length of your chain. And then you just chain 3 and turn, and then it's just 1 double crochet in every stitch for the length of your chain. Like that. And then once you get that done, it will look like this. So you just kind of want to, now this part is just kind of messing with it to getting it to look right. I kind of just mess around with it until I get it how I kind of want it. And I'm going to use my tail here. Now I'm going to sew it on to the top of my pie with my yarn needle. So right in the center. And I'm just going to sew it on until it looks, sew it on and just do a lot of shaping on it is what I'm going to do. So I'm actually just going to go sew it on just like this. Because you're not going to be able to see the other side, so it's just going to be, because it's all going to be sewed together, so like that kind of. Probably just go around this bottom piece with a few stitches. Like that. And then I'll probably lay these out curled around how I want it to be. Like I said, it's just kind of a lot of messing with it till you get it to your likings. And then I'll just take my needle again, go through the bottom, and then directly through the top of all these rows, just to get it to stay still how I want it. And I'll probably have to do this several times until it stays put. Like that. Go back through. Maybe go around this next layer here. Go through it. Oh. And then back down again. So I'm just going to keep getting this all sewed on until I know it's not going to come off, until I'm going to get it all shaped how I want it. And you do the same with yours. Okay, now I'm going to sew it together. And I'm going to sew it all the way around, but I'll leave a little opening to stuff it at the end. But I'm going to use my orange yarn, and this is how I'm going to sew it. With my yarn needle, I'm going to grab a stitch from the bottom, and then I'm going to pull it through a stitch up here. Not the bobble, these stitches over here. You can see the stitches that the bobble stitches and the single crochets are hooked to. I'm going to go through. Then I'm going to cross over. I'm going to go to the next stitch and go back down like that, and through the next stitch down here. Like that. And then I'm going to go back up through the next stitch and through the next stitch up here. And sometimes it's hard to see. But you just want to, you can look and kind of see it on the other side. Just want to make sure you're going through the right stitches because there's an equal amount. So back through that stitch and then jump to the next stitch and go down. And then the next stitch on this piece. You can actually use, you can use the tan yarn if you want, but I think you'll probably might be able to see the tan stitches up here, but that's completely up to you. You can try it out and see. Now I'll go to the next stitch, and then I'll look and see the next stitch. See, I went through this one, so it's this one. Right through it. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but you get the hang of it. Just, came out this one, so go down to the next one. And then the next one down here. Like that. But as long as you look carefully, you'll be able to see the stitches. Back through the next one, and then you look and see the next one right here. Just like that. So this is how I'm going to do it all the way around. Matching my stitches up until I get to like a, I don't know, a space about this big. I'm going to leave it open, and that's where I'll stuff it. So I'll go around until I get to that spot. Okay, I got it sewed up around. I left kind of a space here. Now I'm just going to stuff it with some fiber fill. And you stuff it to your liking, however stuffed you want it to be. And what you can do here in this part is put like some potpourri inside the stuffing. Or put some stuffing and then shove some pumpkin potpourri in it or something if you want to make it smell. That's a good idea. I don't have any, but you just stuff it for however full you want it to be. So it looks good to you, and then just finish sewing it back up. When you make it to the end here, I'm just going to kind of hide these tails up in here in the top of the orange, since I use orange thread, but if you use tan thread, whichever one you use, pull back through. Oh. And it's kind of weaving in up here neatly. Since it's on top, you want to make sure that it's neat and you can't see it. And then once you get done with that, all you got to do then is kind of just shape your pie up. Get the foam fill, work it around to where you want it. Get the cardboard situated on the bottom, and it will be finished. And that's all there is to it. It's really easy. It's really cute too. And it didn't really even take me that long. So if you make this though, I'd love to see a picture of it. You can post a picture on the Bagoday Crochet Facebook page, and I'll put a link to that below in the description box. And please don't forget to check out all my other tutorials.